In your journeys across Albion, you've probably noticed folks standing by the shorelines or on the docks fishing. If you've ever wondered how you can get in on the fishing action, keep watching this video to learn everything you need to know. Naturally, in order to fish, you'll need a fishing rod. But before you can use a fishing rod, you'll have to unlock Trainee Gatherer on your Destiny board. You may have already done this by now, but if not, just gather a few T2 resources like logs, stone, ore, hides, or fiber. It really won't take long. Now, the easiest way to get a fishing rod is to buy it at the marketplace. Just search for fishing rod. The lowest level fishing rods available are T3. There are no Tier 2 fishing rods. If the Tier 3 rod is red in the marketplace listing, that means you haven't yet unlocked Trainee Gatherer, so you won't be able to use the rod until you do, but you can still buy it. Another way you can get a fishing rod is to craft one yourself. You can do this at the toolmaker shop in any town or city. For a Tier 3 rod, you'll just need 6 chestnut planks and 2 bolts of neat cloth, Tier 3. Here's one other thing to note about fishing rods. As with other gathering tools, you can catch fish up to 1 tier above the fishing rod you are using. For example, using a Tier 3 rod, you can catch anything up to a Tier 4 fish, but not a Tier 5 fish. Once you've got your fishing rod, you can fish almost anywhere you see water. A good rule of thumb is, if the water is shallow enough that you can wade through it, you can't fish there. Otherwise, any water in the world will work. Try fishing in different locations like in town, in the wilderness, or on your island or guild island. If you have a fishing rod in your inventory, no need to equip it, then when you mouse over water, your cursor automatically changes to a fishing bobber. Just click and hold the mouse button to cast your fishing line into the water. Your line will fly in between your position and wherever you point your cursor. The distance depends on how long you hold the mouse button before you release it. A quick release results in a short cast. A long hold results in a longer cast. Now, watch your bobber and listen. When your line is in the water, the cursor changes to a hook as long as it's over water. When a fish bites your hook, the bobber will briefly sink with a splash. Quickly click anywhere in the water to set the hook. Now the battle begins. The fish wants to get away, so you'll have to fight to reel it in. Keep the bobber icon centered in the meter as much as possible. You can do this by clicking and/or holding the mouse button. Using a combination of both clicking and holding is a good way to make sure the bobber doesn't go too far to the left or too far to the right. If it does either, your line will snap and the fish will get away. As the fight progresses, pay attention to the fish's progress meter. Your goal is to get it all the way to the right. If it slides off to the left, the fish will get away. Once you do get it all the way to the right, the fish is yours. Look for active fishing nodes with fish visible on the surface of the water. You'll get a bite faster than if you just cast randomly. And by the way, fish aren't the only things you can catch with a fishing rod. When you see a floating treasure chest, be sure to cast your line and reel it in for a reward of luxury items you can sell at the market. Another way to make fish bite sooner is to add bait to your line. You can buy bait at the market or create it at a cook station using earthworms. Earthworms, in turn, come as a natural byproduct when you harvest plants or herbs on your island. Once you have bait in hand, add it to your potion slot and you can buff your fishing ability with it. If you want to make it easier to catch fish once you've got them hooked, try eating seaweed salad. Equip it in the food slot and then press the food shortcut. This increases fishing speed. Seaweed salad is made from seaweed. When you fish in areas that have not been exhausted, you have a chance to fish up seaweed in addition to whatever else you catch. The chances of catching seaweed increase in higher tier areas. You can prepare seaweed salad at a cooking station. Of course, you can always buy the salad at the market too, so seaweed is quite valuable. When you're fishing, your location makes a difference. Each region has fish up to the region's tier. For example, a Tier 5 region has fish of up to Tier 5, but does not have any Tier 6 fish. Most of Albion is home to freshwater fish, and you can catch different varieties depending on the area's tier. Plus, each biome has its own rare breeds in Tiers 3, 5, and 7. And some rare freshwater fish can only be found in the roads of Avalon. And then there are ocean fishes, which live in saltwater. Here again, there's a different variety of common fish in each tier, plus 3 types of rare ocean fishes. To catch ocean fishes, you must fish in coastal regions. If a zone has both freshwater and saltwater, the saltwater is a darker shade of blue on the region map. All of the rare freshwater and ocean fishes, except sharks, are required ingredients in unique cooking recipes that yield various food buffs. If you want to increase the amount of fish you catch per cast, try equipping special fishing gear. Like everything else, you can usually buy this at the market. You can also craft it at the toolmaker shop. Eating foods that give gathering yield buffs, such as pies, can improve your fishing yield as well. Just keep in mind that both the gear and the food buff work by applying a percentage chance that you'll gain an extra fish. You can't catch 1.32 herrings or 1.69 striped mackerels or something. Either you get a whole fish or you don't. So sometimes you won't get any extra fish. But when the yield buff from gear and food procs, you will. The higher your buffs, the more likely you are to get an extra fish each time you cast. Equipping higher level fisherman gear will result in higher yield buffs. In this example, the gear is Tier 6 and the maximum buff from the gear is 30%. But with Tier 8 gear, you can get up to a 70% yield buff, not counting food. Another way to increase your fishing yield is to use an Avalonian fishing rod. Like regular rods, these can be purchased at the market or crafted at a toolmaker station. But you need Avalonian energy to craft them. To level up your fishing skill faster, consider eating the fish that you catch raw. That's right, just stick the fish in the food slot and chow down. For every fish you eat, you'll gain half of the fame that you earned from catching it. This means you can increase your fishing fame 50% faster than if you don't eat the fish. Okay, here's one more tip for you. If you have a lot of fish, take them to the marketplace and sell them. Or, for Tier 1 fish, take them to a butcher and chop them into chopped fish for use in special fish sauce. This sauce is used to enchant food recipes. At the market, compare the selling prices of the Tier 1 fish in your inventory with the price of chopped fish to help you decide which will earn you the most silver. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments below what kinds of videos you'd like to see next.